The orange fence looks an eyesore and falls across the sidewalk all the time. There's growth growing across the street, the sidewalk. You as a council can clean that up. You own the property, you got a township manager, you got public works, you could dump 30 yards of topsoil on it, rake it out, and make it look presentable and nice as you come down the street. You can't do buzzes, you can't do the railroad. You can do your property.
Yeah, what we can do in that property, I can tell you, we can fix the fence so it's more safe, but we cannot touch or tamper the ground.
You know, I'm not talking about tampering, I'm talking about dumping topsoil on it, raking it out, and then planting some grass seed. I'm not talking about doing anything. You're talking, Windsor could probably do it for $1,000, drop the dirt, take a bulldozer, level out, Joe Jones, $200. I'll even help Mr. Jones do it. We'll push the dirt around, we'll cover up the cement pad, we'll throw some grass seed in the fall. And when you drive down the road, it'll look beautiful. That fence can't be, that's a temporary fence, that shouldn't be on that property. It's a temporary fence, you're not doing construction there, that's temporary. I couldn't put it around my property, leave it there forever. It's been there, how long, 6 months, a year? There's one property, I challenge you guys as a council to make that property look nice within the next 60 days. You guys own it, you guys make it nice. I challenge you. Step to the plate, and I'll be a believer.
Thanks, Jeff. Lewis? You beat you. I can't win up first.
My name is Lewis York. I live at 370 Crawford. I want to say attention to the High Police Department for the safety for the RV violation. I was talking to you last week. And not to go do a lot of better pictures. But I had seen none of the council people. I mean, I was surprised not to see second question is when you're going to update the agenda item or minute on the Mount Holly website. That's first. Second is, have the township seen any phone call tries not picking up in the gardens? Try to call it up in the property. I put it out, Thursday. Thursday, Friday morning. Tries not picking up. I called my next door neighbor 6 hours. About 12 o'clock on Friday, tried not picking up. Then I waited until Monday. I called my next door neighbor. I was working. I work in London. Tried not picking up. I don't know what's going on. So I ended up softball and Norfolk and part 11 drive now. Tried not picking up. We get tax come in. And wait the private or the empty house in Mount Holly. We talked this about several meetings ago. Waste of progress. Second is, did I miss the budget session or the this Thursday? Can you answer them? The budget session.
You asked about 8 questions there. Budget?
Yeah, budget
There
session.
has been no budget work session yet.
Oh. Question about, I see a lot of empty houses on Pine Street. I mean, that's I go over there and walk down and that's what happened to look at the I don't know, call it Acton County bankers. I called a bank on one particular house. I said, you don't do nothing about that house. The house that I've seen 28 Pine Street. It's for sales by itself. It's owned by a bank of America. I can't do nothing. Yes, I'm my new YouTube video, my same YouTube is off and running. The video minutes I recorded. It's off and running, unedited. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Lewis.
Hi, Carolyn Young, 197 Cardinal Lane. I understand what you're saying, Jason. When we see properties that are unkept, you're right. As residents, we don't know if they've been issued a summons or not. The problem is, in the meantime, it's ongoing because the properties still look bad. 214 Cardinal Lane, really bad. I even spoke to the gentleman who drives around in the vehicle about the property. There's sofas in the carport, a mattress. The bushes are well above the fence that's already there. The neighbors have complained that kids are going in there doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And really, I did do something that I should not have done, because when I spoke to someone, they said, oh, no, they can't be going in, we bolted the door. So I said, okay, I know I see that door open, let me just check it. Because in order to talk about something, you have to know what you're talking about. So I went on the property, the inside door is bolted, but it's the outside door, it's a little porch, and the kids are going in there doing whatever. That's been at least a month ago, if not 6 weeks, and that door is still open, kids are still going in. The neighbor approached me because my neighbors do ask me to come and talk to them. Believe me, I have tried to give them your email addresses to come to the meetings, they won't come. But me as a resident, I do care about Mount Holly, and I care about my neighborhood. And I just think I'll do whatever I can to help. If I have to make a list and keep sending it, so you'll know, I will. If I can get the phone numbers for you, I will. I'll volunteer my time because I do care about Mount Holly. 214 Woodpecker, that house looks vacant, but there's somebody living there. I really thought it was vacant. It's all overgrown, but there are cars in the driveway that go in and out, and you can see a TV light or a light on at night. So that property is, for whatever reason, I don't know. But if I can do something, you have my word, I'll do my best to help you because I do care. Then this morning I have a question. Today was recycling day, and the sweeper came along. Why would the sweeper come when there's recycling containers and they can't sweep the street? It's like a waste of time.
That falls in a little conflict with the director of the recycling company. We'll just have to look at a better schedule.
Yeah, because I mean, it's on the calendar, recycling day. Everyone has their pails out in the big containers. There's nobody who's going to be able to do it. He did make an attempt, and I guess he realized I can't do this, and then he disappeared. Did you see him this morning over here? Yeah. So it didn't make sense. But again, whatever I can do as a resident of Mount Holly, I will help. And if we could, even if we had different areas where we had people join in to help you, put me down for the Laura Village area. I'm willing to help you. Okay? Thank you.
Carolyn, real quickly, that house, 214 Cardinal, is that the same house we talked about last year?
For years.
Before the vacant
Yes.
homes ordinance?
Yes. I mean, the house across the street from me is vacant. The man died suddenly. And I got the phone number off the house. I called the mortgage company when the guys don't come every 2 weeks. And they come and they'll cut it. But I'm on it. You know, after 2 weeks, they don't come, I call. I even got the guy's phone number who cuts the grass. And then he texts me back, he said, I'll be there by Tuesday. You know, so we do have to do our part. It's really hard on all of us, but if we work together, because they can't see everything.
You
But,
can join forces with us.
We're gonna
Because that's what we're doing. I've already talked to two.
well, I've gotten up here, I come here every year.
Carolyn, us,
Oh, I'm sorry. But I've always come, I've always gone on record for what I see, and I try not to talk about things I don't know about, because what are you gonna do for me? But these are properties that I've seen, and I know they're ongoing. 214, yes, it's been,
a year, at least.
or more.
Right, at least a year, because
Yeah.
we vacant
Remember
homes
what-
ordinance.
What's the time frame supposed to be for a vacant and/or abandoned home registered for township? And how many homes and or buildings have been registered since we passed the ordinance in the township?
I think it has a certain time to go into effect. I want to say it's either 30 or 60 days. It's a relatively short time period. Most vacant, we're supposed to notify us.
And what if there is not notification?
We can send it. We could issue.
And we should
If it
start
meets one
enforcing
of the-
that.
I forget if it's 2 or 3 of the criteria out of the number of criteria. If it meets, you let the manager know, and then we can notify them and eventually put a lien on it.
I mean, believe me, that house on Cardinal Lane has been vacant for years. And when I first got the phone number after numerous times, the lady tried to tell me, oh, it's only been 2 months. No, try like 3 years. So, you know, like I said, I will make phone calls for you and, you know, do what I can do, get it back to you, email you, and just try to make it happen. And you're right, we don't know who has gotten a violation, but in the meantime, the grass is continuing to grow.
George, you have those amount of violations. You can't go after that property.
We can't, we can't put it in. That's what the ordinance is really.
What are they doing over in Evesham with the people they're talking about? There's, about the same time we did the abandoned property ordinance, where they were actually they were leaving them, and then they were just acquiring, tearing them down because they weren't.
Yeah, but I would take extra steps to get to the point of tearing it down, but I can tell you that since Mount Holly adopted this ordinance last year, I know another town I represent adopted it, may have lien property, so. Actually, they just adopted the ordinance in January this year, I think they've already lien property for two, not mistaken. I'll check on each of them and see what that is.
Yeah.
Joyce Wright, 208 East Mill Street. And again, I'd like to ask the status of the lake branch in the street and about the walkway and the damage going on. And then said that walkway ramp or something. I happen to be down in Haddon Township in Collinswood and look at their lake and also Scrubber's Lake. They don't have the leaves and overgrowth that we do around their lake. And I don't know if I, as a personal citizen, could contact them and see what they're doing that we can't do. Also, the property around the lake is Green Acres. If Mount Holly can't do something, could be calling the county or the state because it is part of Green Acres to clean that up. Not take off the growth and keep the environment or the erosion, but it's just everything to the complex 10, 12, 13, and 5. We can't see. And other lakes these days are not like that. So like there's an update on it. Particularly about the walkway, the dam walkway from Sunset.
Well, I do have in front of me here our report on that walkway with steps on how to and what to remediate it. So we were looking at that. Like I said, we're looking at some grants possibly and then how to fund and budget repairs. If that's what the intended end result is going to be, whether it will remain or it will be taken out, one or the other. As far as the beautification, as far as the outside lakes, we can look into that. You mentioned that Hollywood did that. I could call over there and see what they did.
I mean, I know a lot of us would go over and trim down bushes and things as a volunteer group. I mean, you're certainly welcome to do that.
What?
To volunteers to trim some of the overgrowth so that you can see it, not necessarily, not to trim it down.
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, can you get back to me?
Yeah, Eric can probably research that, get back with us forward, what a resident can and can't do on a township property.
You're welcome to come out. Councilman, you're welcome to come out and walk around the road again.
We are having a meeting with Mr. Mailey with Collinswood around unrelated topic. We'd like to join us for that.
When is this?
We have to schedule the next week or so.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have a date for that? Schedule the 15 minutes prior to the meeting. Go to here.
It goes right here. Mandy Rothwell, 33 Union Street. Just to follow up with, actually Joyce said, I think I just forwarded to you that at the end of July, there is actually a Green Acres grant due at the end of July that would be for redevelopment and.
Yeah, and just so you know, and I apologize, Joyce, I heard you, but it didn't add up. Randy reinforced it. I have been in touch with Green Acres, as well as grant writing firm, et cetera, about applying for Green Acres. Deadline's the end of July.
Yeah, and
There's a bunch of
that,
things that are on
and
there.
that grant that would pay for 50% of it, and then there's a 50% loan that would be paid over a 20-year period.
0%
A
loan.
0% loan over 20 years, so there is that opportunity that would fit right in, that as long as it's part of that. And I understand wanting to cut down the bushes, and I do have some information that I know I said I'll go get to George, I just haven't gotten to, where there's some companies out there that can put in really nice looking, more or less like perennial wildflower kind of things as, you know, as borders that have the deep roots that prevent erosion. I just worry a little bit cutting back too much of what's there, because unless you replace it with something that's appropriate, you're just going to exacerbate the problem in the area without putting in the appropriate, you know, erosion control along the banks and building it up. So, I mean, I can certainly understand, and you need to have a mix of being able to, you know, see the lakes, but also have the proper erosion control and the proper planting, and I just don't want to see it, you know, taken down without putting in the appropriate thing to replace it, and hopefully this will, you know, process will move forward. And just to let you know that I forgot to mention last night's meeting, I actually did put in the recertification for Sustainable Jersey, and we'll be waiting for review of what we put in, and then we'll have to make amendments to what the findings are on that. And obviously the goods are here, the herder was actually here today, and he moved the fencing again to a new area, to expand it, because in 3 days they more or less chewed down practically everything in the first padlock that was there. It is actually pretty incredible. And the one thing that I must say, beyond the goats being there, I've been up there over the weekend at least twice a day, and today I just went up, you know, when I came home from work just to see what he did there. And the number of people that are going up there and actually utilizing the park, it's seeing, just going up to see them, it's just been, I think, a positive thing. People probably maybe, people never even gone up to the mountain before. And it's getting a lot more use and visualization of people in the community from various parts of town just going up to see it and maybe find a spot in town that maybe they're not going to utilize before. So beyond, you know, the goats in the two sheep that are working their way through the area up there, it's everyone seems to be coming out to see what's going on up there and taking advantage of the site. And I did notice, I guess, today started, I guess they're up there trying to redo part of the trails. It started today. I saw a lot of wood, what are that, the 4x4s or 8x8s up there trying to put them in. And I don't know exactly, I didn't take a good look at it. If they're, you know, hopefully they'll put them in areas and make a little bit more steps to try to prevent the erosion, but they were up there doing work today, apparently. I didn't get a good look at it. Al might be able to address it more because he actually looked around to see what they were doing. I didn't actually take a good look to see what they were doing, but there was some other activity going on up there on the trails. So what else do I have? I did put around, they were up there. Around on Ironworks Park, I did put some additional tree protectors around some of the sapling trees that we put in last year for Arbor Day. And I know the rain garden that was outside the municipal building by the tin cabin that was accidentally mowed down. I looked at it, it looked like some of the plants are coming back, but we probably will have to replace some of the plants there. It's probably cost maybe $100 worth of plants and mulch to redo that. I don't know if the plants are available right now from Pineland because it's not the best time to plant. The best time is early spring or fall, so we have to wait till fall to try to replant the plants that need the loss on one end, but it doesn't mean it's coming back. The only other thing I said, I know that, does anyone know when the municipal buildings will be ready for meetings?
We're hoping the second meeting in July.
The reason I'm asking is that we've been doing when we've been having trainings for the environmental committee, so we actually didn't have a meeting last month because we were doing the tree training, but we'd like to have our meeting next is July 1st, and I don't know if we can do it in another room over there, or do I need to find a location to have our meeting? For our first meeting.
How many?
Huh?
How many?
How many people? Usually, it's like 10 people.
I don't know if you have any space. You know, and then you go in, can they go in that kitchen area still? In that off limits, that one room? Have the bathroom in it? Yeah. That could be accessible.
Okay, yeah, because our next meeting is scheduled for July 1st, which is next Tuesday, I guess. So I just wanted to know if we can have a meeting that day, potentially taking this up. That's all, thanks.
Next meeting. Anybody else? Alright, seeing no one else, I'm gonna close the report from the meeting. We're gonna go right into the consent agenda. Again, we have on here is resolution 2014-90, dedicated to medical reports in Old Park. The approval of the department head reports and my motion earlier, 2014-91, 92, 93, and 94. So there's a motion on this consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda.
Roll call, please.
Felton,
Yes.
DeFalco, Brown, Jones,
Yes.
DeFalco.
Yes. All right, consent agenda passes. Next, we have matters to be reported by the manager. Eric?
Yes, one major item is in your packet. You have review the proposed budget. Because your next meeting, I will schedule a work session to review that budget. As you review, I know we'll be talking throughout the next couple of weeks. Any questions, concerns, please don't hesitate. That's in your packet, along with the personnel manual, which should be completed at the next meeting also. That's all I have.
Eric, when did you want to schedule the meeting?
Pardon?
When did you want to schedule the meeting?
Our next meeting, the work session.
Will be the next meeting.
Will be the next
Okay. Schedule the 11th. We're gonna shoot that at 7 o'clock.
And this is the first time I've seen the budget presented this way. Are we getting anything else other than this?
Should have this thing. Doesn't matter, I know. You should have. Anybody else not have it?
No.
You have it?
Yeah. It was actually Billis. Looks a lot different than what we've gotten in years past.
Anything else, Eric?
That's all.
George?
Just briefly, we had a local county board of taxation tax appeal day, and I'll let you know any results. We're closely with the Leo, of course, from my office, and a couple of trials. Also today, I heard back from the solicitor for Delanco concerning the shared service agreement, which should bring in some extra revenue, and it should, we should have that finalized within the next several weeks. They drafted one and needed some changes before we can present it to you. I wasn't happy with it legally in a couple aspects of it, but I think we're having an agreement on that. That's all I have.
All right. Lou?
I just want to say that updates will be made on Recreation Department. We'll hand it over to Mayor Falco on the website very shortly.
Jason? Okay. Nothing, Vinnie? I'm not sure if anyone had an opportunity yet to walk down and look at Mill Dam Park. I'm still upgrading the facility there. A little delay based on the weather. Right now, the playgrounds are being fixed or drainage, an outdoor drainage system out there. This way, will no longer collect water and turn into like a marsh. While children playing out there in a rainstorm. The walkway put in. There's going to be a paper walkway and obviously the wall. But right now, due to the delays, we're going to be mid-July. Again, weather pending, moving forward for that being done. Yeah, in about a week or so, we should have a program put together where our township residents can purchase paper stones, like to engrave them and have their name put on there and living memory, etc. on there. And those funds will go to, they will go back into the redevelopment of the Mill Dam Park. So it will cycle itself back in there. Also, July 5th, Ironworks Park, Mill Dam Park, we have our Independence Day celebration. We will have live bands on stage, fireworks at dusk, kid bouncies, dunk tanks, a bunch of things that will be going on that day until dusk. And everyone's invited to a free event if you want the family big, picnic blankets, chairs, etc. Just hopefully it's nice and you can enjoy the day. Aside from that, thank you for your comments. I made a lot of notes here as far as code enforcement, look and feel of downtown Mount Holly and Mount Holly or town in general. A lot of you, Jeff mentioned, myself, Jason, Lou, we spoke to you a lot about redoing it, fixing up Mount Holly. One aspect is the redevelopment, which we are working on. It is a slower process than simply cutting grass in someone's house is too high. So we're working on that, and I am available, Jeff, walk around, open invitation, invite me anytime, to look at properties and try to compile a list. We really do need to start shooting things up, and which is why I brought up our abandoned property ordinance and what actual rules and guidelines we have to go by to actually do something. Because, like Jason mentioned, we can citate the same house 10 times. And if that house is a house that someone walked away from, and it's going to the bank is responding, and you see a sign to quote bank, there has to be a next step, because it seems a lot of people try to next step time. So we will continue to do what we can do, try to remediate that, and we do appreciate you coming out and again bring it to our attention. Again, Jeff, call me. We'll schedule something. Aside from that, thank you